Hey there, what's going on, Aries? I just did I just did a collective message that was supposed to be an Aries, so I started it out with Aries because I was going to do your reading, and they decided to make it collective. Ooh, okay. If people are gossiping about you or spreading rumors, don't fall for it. No one is worth lowering your vibration for. Let it move through you. See it for what it is, which is a reflection of their pain rather than the result of your actions. They're telling me to say this. What anybody else thinks about you is none of your business. And the reason why it's none of your business is because you are so freaking protected. Let people say what they want and believe what they want, because what they're saying is so vastly wrong that when you come out with, because there's some type of opportunity coming, and you see how this came out like past, and then it's like you're in this abyss, because did you notice how this card came out like this and these cards came out over here? There is nothing in the current. You are literally in the transition from this to this. You are in this incubator of just waiting for something to play out. So you're sitting real pretty right now. You're sitting in a really good energy, Aries. They want you to be kinder to yourself and realize these people, it's like everything that they say is so wrong. And when you come out and you are shining on top and visible, and all the people they were gossiping to who heard stuff about you, it was a blessing. You know why? They learned about who you are through this person. And then when you come out and you have a platform that is a vastly, vastly larger than theirs, and you're speaking your truth, and you are the complete opposite of what this person said, who then looks like the fool? If you stay disengaged from whatever this drama is that's going on, you stay disengaged, you don't respond, you don't give them anything, and then you come out, it's like a rags to riches type of story, where you started out here in a low vibration, well, down here on the screen, down here in a low vibration with somebody, and maybe there's things that they're saying that was true. There's a lot of untruths, though. I have to point that out. A lot of things that are not true at all. But just say, like, and they're talking about this version of you, and they're out there gossiping because they haven't healed, and they're still down here talking about this version of you, where really you're way up here. You're like off the charts. You can't even see you up here anymore. And they're also saying something about not being visible. Being visible to someone is really causing anxiety for them. Like, you not being on, I don't know if you're not on social media or not posting or whatever it is that you do, something that you do, something you used to do very publicly, you only do privately now with, people that you can talk to. I don't know, there's something about individuals not being able to figure out what you're doing, who you are with, or what you're doing, or how you're doing. People are not able to check in on you. And that is such a good thing, because you know what that's doing? You know how when you send somebody a text and it's somebody who texts back right away and you expect a response, and then all of a sudden they're not responding, and a day goes by, or 2 days go by, and then 3 days go by. Guess what's happening to these people that's gossiping? Their wheels are spinning. Okay, thank you for the confirmation. Their wheels are spinning. And when the wheels spin, a lot of fears come up. The ego shows up. And so the things that they're hearing are not the truth, but they're taking it as truth. All right? Oh, they're just trying to be sneaky, or they're just trying to get back at me playing a game. Not realizing that you haven't really contacted them or done anything with them for years. Like, it's been years, and they still think that you're just going to come on back, and you don't. You don't. And then it gets under their skin, and then they make assumptions, And you know, my ex-husband used to say, it's so funny. He said, when I said, like, well, somebody just assume something. He'd be like, you know what assume means? Making an ass out of you and me. Assume. ASS, you and me. He used to say that all the time. So they want you to know, don't lower, and you not lowering your standards or your vibration to dip and match these people where they are, to give them the knee-jerk reaction they so want, so bad. It's like if you were to if you were to give in and you would just say something, lose your cool with somebody, it would bring the biggest smile to their face to see you like that. I gotcha. That's what they're going to say. I gotcha. But you're not doing that. So that's why the gossiping is happening. And the gossip that happens is only going to make the people who's spreading the gossip, look really, really, really fucking bad. Okay? So let's talk about what's coming. Because this, do you notice, like normally with my future cards, they're over here. It was right here. There was nothing here. And this was like this. So this is not far off. This is very close. Okay. Opportunities will soon knock at your door. Debt will be wiped clean. There's something about making sure you get the house organized, things organized. You just want to be able to... I just heard this next week is going to be organization station. Toot toot, all aboard organization station. You're going to want to have the things, like maybe, let's just, normally when you go for a job, you have to go to the office. So it's not like they're coming to you. But it feels like this job is coming to you. So they're going to be in your environment. They want your environment to be, I don't want to feel like it's sterilely clean, like an office environment. You want to organize that way. If they ask you something, you know exactly where to go to get it instead of like, oh, where is it? Let me move this pile of junk. Oh, it's under here somewhere. I know. And then feel anxious. And then feel anxious about it when they come. Feel anxious when you can't find it. All right, so I know that you've been questioning yourself lately and wondering if you're good enough or strong enough to do that which your heart desires to do. This message is here to remind you that you really are more than capable of doing it. You're rising up and taking that leap of faith. This is a really important time in your life, Aries. For many reasons. There's bliss like you've never experienced before coming to knock at your door. There's opportunity you've never experienced before coming to knock at your door, which is also going to bring a new level of fear that you've never felt coming to your door. It's going to trigger a wound. Am I good enough? Am I really ready for this? Like the Lionsgate portal, I just saw 8:08 on the clock. Something about the Lionsgate portal bringing a new opportunity, huge. It's like almost like every year you've had the Lionsgate portal. They're tapping my left foot. The past, 5 or 6 years that a Lionsgate portal has happened, even if you didn't know what that was, you have had bad experiences happen around that time. That's rocked your root chakra to no end, which is about your security and your safety. This Lionsgate portal is going to be the complete opposite. This portal is going to bring safety, security, bliss, happiness, joy, reaping what you have sown. And they want me to point that out. When you did not engage with the gossip, they're going to reap what they've sown. The gossipers are going to reap what they've sown. And you not engaging and staying true to who you are because you love Jesus or somebody else. Buddha, Ganesh, Kuan Yin. There's so many. You're going to reap what you've sown too, which is all the things that they just said. Yeah, you're living in your vortex. When you live in your vortex. So let me say this. Okay. Push this back for a little bit. So here's your vortex. We're going to look at it like this. Your vortex, your body is going to be in the center of this vortex. So let's just say this is your head, hair. Here's your body. Here's your arms. Here's your legs. All right. So this would be your aura. This is your portal. You know how they talk about portals on heaven? In this area where we live now, this time and space, your vortex is your own portal. That is your get out of jail free card. That is you living everything that you want. Okay? And it's not just one experience here. I have better visuals, but just for the sake of time, we're going to go with this. This hair's looking a little funky, okay? I'll give you some eyes. All right. As you have experiences outside of the vortex, out here, we're going to call these the negative emotions, okay? So everybody is in and out of their vortex all day. You know, at some point, everybody's in their vortex. Now, some of you are predominantly more in than others right now, and that's good because that means you've been raising your vibration to reach the vortex. Everything that you want lies in this vortex. So if you want bliss, if you want excitement, you want love, you want joy, you see, any type of experience that will bring you joy can happen. So don't hyper focus right now. They want you to do this. Don't hyper focus on what experience is going to bring the joy. Don't focus on the experience. Focus on the joy. Don't focus on what experience is going to bring you the love. Focus on love. I just want universe, show me ways to feel love today. And the love you're going to feel is the connection between you and them. And it's crazy because you will feel so understood, so seen, and so heard beyond your human comprehension. Like, how is this possible? Things that you wanted as a child that you can't remember, that are way down here, completely off your radar, all of a sudden make their way to you. And it's not just one thing. It's like, here's an experience. This is joy. This is joy. This is joy. Here's this. This is joy. This is joy. Oh, try this. This is joy. Ooh, this is love. This is love and joy. It's like, it's not just one experience. Whereas humans, we tend to think of one experience and one person and, you know, what would bring that. But what Source is going to do is show you all the different ways you can experience joy, all the different ways you can experience love. And that's what staying in your vortex does. Now, I want to talk about one other thing and then we'll get out of here. All right. So let's just say you have, let me just redo this. I want to show you this one thing and then, because if you guys don't see visuals or teachings and stuff, it's like, how do you know? So let's just say, we're just going to say this is your vortex. Okay, this is you right here in the center of your vortex. This is your aura. Now, let's say your aura, you're born pure positive energy. This is totally colored in. Let's just say this is all colored in. All right, everything's beautiful and bright. All your chakras are online. Things are really looking good for you, okay? All of this is fully colored in, okay? As you start experiencing trauma or things, the lack of things that you want, you start putting holes in your aura. You know what the holes are? Resistance. It's resistance. So if you're a drinker, that puts a lot of holes in there. Drinking alcohol. If you drink a lot of pop, that puts holes in your aura. It's basically showing you, like in these things, when you put holes in your aura, you literally can't see what's underneath. Like all of the stuff that the green that was underneath this black, all that stuff that was underneath it, all that good stuff is still there. It's still there. You just have to remove the black on top of it, which means remove the hole, which means raise your vibration, do some healing, And then you're going to see everything clearly. Like you're vibrating. This is your signal to the universe. All right? This is your signal to the universe. Your aura. That is your portal. All right. You will find also, this is something else interesting for you to know. You know how I had joy written here and I said, okay, here's an experience of joy. Try this. This is bring you joy. This will 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 bring you joy. You know, instead of you having this one idea of what's going to bring you joy, which is, let's just say you think it's money. But all of a sudden, there's money, there's a person, there's an experience, there's a new location, there's all these different things. And they can be really big things or they can be really small things. They tend to be the smaller things at first, just because Source is going to personalize this too, by the way. Source will personalize this experience. They personalize it by showing you specifically things that you wanted that would bring you joy all the way from a child up. And it's specific things that you will find that you haven't told anybody else. I've had so many experiences with things where like, I never told anybody else. Like for example, something I've never known how to do is how to properly hold my shoulders back. Like, you know, have good posture. And, you know, how women are supposed to walk compared to men. You know, I don't know. I just do it. And so sometimes, and this is nothing I've ever shown to anybody, I'm telling you now, I would look in the mirror and I would try to figure it out. And then I would just look at myself kind of struggling and walk away. And I started going through these experiences with Source where they were showing me different things. And one day I was walking and my whole body just felt lighter. And when I'm like, what is that? And then all of a sudden I'm walking and I could feel it get really heavy. And then all of a sudden it got really light again and I was walking faster. Like, and that was Jesus walking for me. Like that saying footprints in the sand. He did it during a time when I had found out. I had an ex who was pretty vindictive. You know, I had cheated on him and he cheated on me. And it was just a toxic connection. But he was trying to get back at me, and I was trying to make up with him because I felt so guilty for hurting him. And I think it was something about him. I wasn't somebody who opened up easily. I was terrified to open up to him because my feelings for him were very strong, to the point like I didn't think I would be able to survive if he had left me. So I made it to where I was the one to leave first, and then I would go back, and then I would leave, and then I'd go back. So I hurt him. You know, I did. I hurt him through that. And and I felt terrible. He was my twin flame. So I felt terrible about that. And I let him, you know, I'm like, okay, I got to open up. I've got to show him, you know, I'm willing to do something here. And the night before, I'm just going to tell you this experience. The night before, I had opened my heart to him and told him about stuff from my childhood. And it was just, it had come out. I don't know how it came up. He said something and I said something. And then somehow I just shared like my heart with him. And he didn't respond. He left me. I don't know if he responded at all or he just didn't respond to that. I don't remember. But anyway, he didn't really respond to it. The next day, I go on social media and I saw that he had commented on someone's post. So I click on it and it's this woman who is absolutely gorgeous, you know, got big old fake boobs and just a really nice body, you know, really took care of the outward appearance. And she had said something in a post randomly to everyone. And then he goes and he starts posting a comment about his childhood and a personal experience with his life, which he had never done with me. I had never done with him until the night before. And so it like hit my heart so freaking hard. And I fell to the floor. And this is the experience that came. And this is the way that Source is going to work with you. And so I remember getting up and they said, go for a walk. So I got up and I went outside and I started walking and I'm crying and I'm walking and I'm crying and I'm walking. And that's when I start noticing, all of a sudden I noticed like I got really light. And I'm walking and I'm like, what is... And it kept happening. It kept happening. I would say it probably happened 10 to 12 times before I questioned it. And then finally I'm like, what is that? And then the footprints in the sand poem, that story came back to me. If you don't know it, you can look it up. But basically it's a man, he says, Lord, when I'm feeling good, I can see you walking with me. I see two sets of footprints in the sand, but when I'm feeling the lowest, I only see one. And that's when Jesus says, my child, you only see one because I'm carrying you. And that ran through my head like a marquee. I could see the words. I could feel the experience. I could hear what they were saying. And all of a sudden, my body went really light. And Jesus said, I'm walking for you. And I'm walking. My body's walking, but it wasn't really me doing the work. I was just crying. I was just releasing. And that's what they want you to understand. The ascended masters, inner being, whoever, it doesn't matter. They know when to come in and help you release the tears if you will allow it. But if you will not allow it, then you're not going to understand this type of help. So what they did that day, I went on that walk and it turned into this huge, beautiful healing experience. And what had happened with that ex, what started out because of him, turned out to be one of the best experiences of my life. And that's what happened through my awakening. It's like Source would show me through physical experience what was happening to me, but then they would come in and heal me and scoop me up and bring me up. So every time I had an experience, they came through and helped me and picked me up. And I could understand it in different ways. And that's how I built my trust with Source. Because in my lowest points, they showed up. They showed up and said, we are here. We know how to help you out of this. And that's the thing. That's the thing that a lot of people don't understand, especially with certain teachings out there, like just go towards the new. Sometimes you can't just go towards the new. Because if you try to just go towards the new and there's all of these like faulty beliefs and mindsets in your way based on your upbringing that won't allow you to just look away and get what you want, there's something there in your vibration that needs to be addressed. And that was what was going on. So on that experience, during that experience, like I was going up and down, and then all of a sudden they were raising my arms. Like it wasn't me doing it. My right arm raised, and Jesus said, I'm holding your hand. And from my very first experience being introduced to Christianity, my father was a Christian preacher when I was a kid. I don't know why they want me to tell you this, but they do. My father was a Christian preacher when I was a kid, and it was a Church of God, like Pentecostal type of stuff. Very, very confined, very like a cult, really. That's what I knew. And when I became a Christian, when I dedicated my life to Christ in my early 20s, I was at a Pentecostal church, and I remember being so happy and so free with that love. And I bought a cross necklace. And these are the experiences that you guys don't realize are affecting how you view Source, God, and how you go on. So they want me to share this. So when I went there, I was, as a new Christian, you just get saved. You just have this light-hearted, fresh, vibrant energy about you. You just feel so loved, feel so connected, and you go through this phase. And then I'm going to this church where I got saved, and my dad or mom bought me this cross necklace. I loved it, and I had really long hair at the time, like I could sit on it. I cut it all the way up to where the back of it was like, you couldn't even put it in a ponytail. It was so short. And it like tapered in the front, and then it was stacked in the back. And I felt really good about myself. And we were sitting there in this sermon, and he looks, the preacher, Brother Miller, he was preaching. And, I'm sitting there smiling, and all of a sudden he just points right at me. He goes, and it's a sin to wear jewelry. And he keeps going. And then all of a sudden, it's a sin to have short hair. And I'm like, what in the world? And then all that love that I was feeling turned into me feeling not good enough. So in that church also, Every time you prayed in Jesus' name. You never talked to God the Father. That was a no-no. Like, he was off limits. That's how I took that message. You know, the way that they preached, you know, you always have to pray to Jesus. You're not righteous enough or good enough to go see the Father. So when I had that experience where they were picking me up, Jesus had picked up my right hand. And, you know, music is playing in my earbuds. And Jesus picked my right hand. He said, I'm with you. And this is the first time I heard this song. It's one of my favorite songs now. I think it's Won't Let Go by Rascal Flatts. I've become really in tune with country music where that wasn't something I ever liked before. And the song talking about I won't let go. And my right hand was in the air. I'm crying. He's telling me he's holding my hand. I literally could not put my arm down. He's just holding it up. And then all of a sudden my left hand started raising. And I'm like, what? I'm like, what? I'm like, who is this? And he said, this is God, your Father. And I literally almost fell to my knees. I literally, my knees didn't touch, but I just dropped to the ground. And all of a sudden my arms started raising. And my body just started lifting, and they were lifting me. He's like, you can talk to me anytime you want. He said, I'm always here for you. I love you. He said, I'm a loving God. He said, I am not a mean, malicious God that you were told about in church. And I'm just crying, and this song's playing, and it's talking about, I won't let you go. I'll pick you up. I won't let you go. And that's exactly what was happening to me. So what turned out a bad experience with being triggered with something my ex did just to get back at me, just to hurt me, God came back around. Jesus came back around and helped me heal that. And not only just heal it, he brought me above that and showed me what love really was. He held my hand. He spoke the words. The feelings in my body were otherworldly. They weren't things that I can even explain to you through words. Hopefully one day through my art, I'll be able to help you guys connect with this on a bigger level. But those are the experiences they want you to have. And that honestly is what's helped me pull away from my ex and heal and go towards the things that serve me. Because when you get a taste of what true unconditional love is, you don't want to go back. It's like you start to, when you get around somebody, you feel the dip, and then it's like you don't even want to be around them because you can feel your heart going, red alert, you know? So just, they wanted me to point that out. They just told me to title this Personal Experiences Tied to Everything You Need to Know. So that's what I'm going to do. There's something, you needed to hear those experiences because that is what you're going to go through. It's like, especially over this next week, you're going to be going through that. So if something triggers you this week, just know that it's going to be followed up by something blissful. And something triggers you, and then the only reason it's triggering you, my heart, I just got the worst pain in my heart. You are healing your heart chakra. And wouldn't you know, the only color marker I actually got out was green, which is your heart. This is going to also help heal abundance. They just gave me, damn, this pain hurts. It's making my whole boob hurt. Jesus. Can you stop that now? Oh, thank you. It went away. Oh. All right. You're going to be working on healing the heart so that this stuff comes in much faster. Okay? And you're doing it with your angels. Something about a fur, somebody has a fur baby that really needs some extra TLC right now. Maybe you've been working on yourself a lot, getting things to work out for you with the hammer here. So it's like now it's time to take a step back and, really spend some time with a friend and with a fur baby here. I love this. It is so freaky. This is so literal and at the same time ethereal. Look at this. Do you see how these charms are? The vortex fell on the card with opportunity is knocking at your, or soon knock at your door. Debt will be wiped clean and your bills will be paid in full. Your finances are about to change. That's your vortex. Everything that I had just explained in the general reading or this one. Now on here you have a star And then you have a Joker. Look at that. So the opportunity is coming to knock on your door. The Joker are the people spreading the gossip. The Star is you. So, and this is saying, if you are wondering about yourself lately, or been questioning yourself lately, if you're good enough or strong enough to do that, you're the Star. You need to remember that. You're the Star. And people are trying to remind you and put you in this box like you're a Joker. You have nothing to offer. You have nothing going on. You're just clowning. You know, you're not clowning. They're going to be the ones with their jaws dropped and their hearts dropping into their stomach. Like, oh my God, I thought they were lying. You know? So just know that this is longer than expected. So I'm going to get off of here, guys. I'll talk to you later. Peace and love.